When Jeff and Mike's brother passed away about 4 years ago, right after Mike had gone to Africa, he'd only been there maybe 4 or 5 months, and he had to come back for a funeral. And we were in Kentucky for the funeral, and I sat down with Mike, and I said, well, how is it? I mean, like, are you just loving it? And he said, Harry, I have gone to the place, this is the land that God has called me to. He said, I will die in Burkina Faso. Well, that was inspiring to me then. And Mike is being buried in Burkina Faso very shortly. It was the land that he loved. It was the people that he loved. And Jeff told the people in Channel 5 last night, he said, Mike died doing what he loved to do. When Pastor Valentin was here several months ago, he talked about Mike always saying, just find me one more thing to do so I can share the gospel. Yeah. Just one more thing. You know, a well, a school, a clinic, an orphanage. Right now they're trying to develop some kind of hydroponic farming system just to do one more thing so they can share the gospel. The Tom's shoes that come in by the tens of thousands that they give away. Just one more way to preach the gospel. And we would be remiss not to allow the death of Mike Riddering to give us a reason to preach the gospel. It's one more time. It's one more reason. It's one more open door for you and I to speak concerning the purpose of God, the love of Jesus. Paul said in Philippians 2, talking about Epaphroditus, he said, listen, we should hold certain men in high regard, for they risked their life. He said Epaphroditus came near death for the sharing of the gospel, and we should hold men like that in high regard. And Paul said, but God had mercy on me, for I would have had sorrow upon sorrow. And so some of us, we struggle with this whole idea. Someone has passed away, and we struggle, we grieve. And we sometimes feel guilty about grieving because, well, shoot, they're in a better place. It's the hope of what we have. Mike Riddering wouldn't come back for anything. And so as I think about that tragedy, it was a tragedy. We grieve. I am grieving today. But as I grieve, I'm aware that Mike literally walked into the place that we all long to go to and heard those words that we all long to hear. Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master. He walked into that. What you and I are longing for, Mike is experiencing. And so, like we always say, we don't grieve for the dead. We don't. I do not. I am heartbroken for his wife. I am heartbroken for his 2 precious daughters, for those hundreds of young people in Yaco that are missing their papa. The Bible says in the book of Job loses everything, and the Bible says Job looks at the situation. And he says, the Bible says he fell down and worshiped God. He said, naked I've come, naked I'll return. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And the Bible says, it says this, and Job in all of these things did not blame God nor sin. Job turned his heart to the Lord in a time of loss, unbearable loss.